The PDP, which is one of the largest and perhaps the oldest political party in this republic, is clearly targeted for destruction. It's a matter of time. There are internal mercenaries in the PDP that have been hired, paid, or otherwise motivated to destroy the party. So the party is on its way to the grave. Okay? And it's most unfortunate because His Excellency, the former Vice President, was explaining how politicians came together, essentially, put aside their differences to drive away the military. Most of these politicians ended up in the PDP. So the PDP actually represented the best of our politicians that fought for restoration of democracy. Forget those that make the most noise.
Former Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai speaking at the African Center for Leadership Strategy and Development, which was held in Abuja. It was attended by opposition politicians. Mr. Peter Obi was there, Atiku Abubakar was there. There at the conference, El-Rufai for the first time criticized the APC and the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He accused Tinubu government of trying to destroy opposition parties in Nigeria. Speaking at the National Conference on Strengthening Democracy in Nigeria, El-Rufai described the state of governance and opposition in the country as a national emergency. El-Rufai lamented the lack of internal democracy and an active party structures within the APC, saying, "I no longer recognize the APC. No party organ has met in 2 years, no caucus, no NEC, nothing. You don't even know if it is a one-man show. It is a zero-man show. You cannot afford to have illiterate, semi-illiterate, and cunning people as your leaders. This is why we end up with the poor leadership we have today. The problems that led to the creation of APC remains unresolved, but I no longer believe the APC is interested in addressing them. The distance between me and the party is widening. There are internal mercenaries in the PDP, hired and motivated to destroy the party. The Labour Party is also facing similar issues. Peter Obi himself told me, "I don't know what is happening in the party I contested with. There seems to be a deliberate project to destroy opposition parties. This is dangerous. For those of us who live half our life under military rule, we know what it is. We don't want a military rule, but we also don't want civilians behaving like the military in their babariga and suits." We all know that El-Rufai supported Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become the president. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to Chatham House during the election campaign, El-Rufai was with him, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu allocated some section of the question in terms of security to El-Rufai to tackle. El-Rufai fell out with Bola Ahmed Tinubu government when he was not cleared by the Senate during the ministerial clearing. It is being alleged that it was a calculated attempt to freeze El-Rufai out of Bola Ahmed Tinubu government because of his perceived enmity of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the past. But that's a discussion of another day. However, El-Rufai has remained silent, even though there are indications or stories that he wants to join other opposition parties to form a mega party against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. El-Rufai has not said anything about forming an alliance with any politician, but however, we have seen him gone to SDP headquarters, so there are talks that El-Rufai wants to come to the SDP. This is the first time El-Rufai is openly criticizing APC and the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. From what he said the gap between him and APC is widening on a daily basis, and is criticizing the APC-led government of trying to destroy opposition parties in Nigeria. He is saying that APC is being run like a one-man show, meaning Bola Ahmed Tinubu has hijacked APC for himself. El-Rufai also admitted that he has been speaking with Mr. Peter Obi. This brings to fore all the rumors about the coalition and the merger to form a political party ahead of the 2027 general election. So El-Rufai is declaring a national emergency against APC, against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ahead of the 2027 general election.
Whatever happens to democracy affects the citizens. It affects their daily living. It affects the future of their children. So we must all now get involved to make it work, because you know it is not working in Nigeria today.
El-Rufai claimed that APC was formed to address issues in Nigeria, and President Muhammadu Buhari, who was the president for 8 years, did not address those issues. And now Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over for President Muhammadu Buhari, and the problem in Nigeria has become worse. So it becomes very important for the coalition to take place. It becomes very important for a merger to take place so they can unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of the 2027 general election. I know some persons may want to say that El-Rufai is a Northerner, and Northerners are not happy that a Southerner is the president of Nigeria. The same thing they did to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, they want to do it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is their modus operandum. Anytime a Southerner is in power, they gang up and try to overthrow that Southerner. Yes, I will agree with you on that aspect of the Northerners always feeling aggrieved whenever a Southerner is in power. But you cannot take away the fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not fit to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not fit to lead a complex country like Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is leading Nigeria to destruction. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not done anything to remedy the situation and the problem he met on ground. So there is need to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We need to say that for a fact. Governance is all about alleviating the pains of the people. Governance is all about making life comfortable and meaningful for the people. As a leader, when you come into office and you bring policies, your policies is geared at making the people happy. Any policies that add more miseries and pain on the people is anti-people policies. Such policies will be discarded. But looking at Bola Ahmed Tinubu ever since he became the president, all his policies have been geared towards making life more miserable to Nigerians. All his policies have been geared towards reducing the purchasing power of the people. All his policies have been geared towards making Nigerians poorer. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ended up tasking Nigerians the more. There is no policy of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is aimed at making life comfortable for Nigerians. It is obvious that APC was just concerned about state capture. They were just concerned about taking power from a Southerner, taking power from Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. APC was not ready for leadership. APC did not have the solutions to Nigerian problem. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has spent 2 years in office experimenting. No meaningful result. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. Data, statistics available shows that it is going to get worse for Nigerians. So you will agree with El-Rufai when he said that it is a national emergency.
We have fine brains, fine minds who have produced policies that have worked elsewhere, but come to Nigeria, those policies fail because we have failed to build the character of the Nigerian man, the character of the Nigerian leader. We have failed to carry them into governance such as to make changes that will make for a better society. So if we speak English in this hall and in any little space we find ourselves, we don't make a difference, we don't show that it's not about us, but about the positions we occupy, about the offices we occupy, about the public trust that we hold, and the fact that there are minimum expectations of the people which we cannot afford to breach or disappoint.
We need judicial reforms. We need executive reforms. We must refocus on enhancing the integrity and efficiency of democratic systems. Building social cohesion. We lack it in this country. This is what will inspire active citizen participation. Like Dr. Otive said in the morning, it is in our hands. It is in the hands of people of Nigeria to fix our democracy. It begins with you and I.
Of course, there is a need for the opposition parties to come together and ensure that they unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 general election. Forming a coalition or a merger ahead of the 2027 general election is not the problem. The problem is going to be the purpose of that coalition or a merger. Like we have seen over time in 2015, the purpose of the APC coming together was state capture, to take over power from a Southerner. So I don't expect the opposition parties to make the same mistake that APC did in 2015. Any merger or coalition that is going to take place in 2027 is going to gear towards solving the problem in Nigeria, because we cannot continue like this. And this is what Mr. Peter Obi is saying. I am not going to be part of any merger. I'm not going to be part of any coalition that is aimed at state capture. Like El-Rufai stated, I am talking with Mr. Peter Obi. I am sure Mr. Peter Obi is in discussion with other opposition parties. Mr. Peter Obi have sensed that they are not in to solve the problem in this country. Their mindset about the coalition is just for state capture, and Mr. Peter Obi is disassociating himself from any form of merger that has to do with state capture. If the merger is all about making life better and meaningful for Nigeria, I am sure they are going to get the full support of Nigerians, and especially Mr. Peter Obi. I mention Mr. Peter Obi because he is coming with a bargaining power, a bargaining chip, which is the obedient movement. Peter Obi is the biggest opposition leader in Nigeria today, and there is no coalition that is going to be formed without him. The goal is to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Unseating Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not born out of hatred, just the same way the Northerners had for Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. It is born out of his incompetency. Nigerians cannot continue to experience this level of bad leadership under his administration. And I hope and I pray that these opposition parties will come to a logical conclusion to present the best candidate that will make life better and meaningful for Nigerians. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.